Didn't think I'd be talking about this shitty series again, but Disney knows how to throw salt in the wound. What a do, ladies and gentlemen, it is the vulgar one, the vulgar son, the vulgar desperado. And yo, so I woke up this morning, saw an article I guess got posted late last night, talking about Ewan McGregor confirms Obi-Wan Kenobi series was originally about Luke Skywalker and Ben. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I mean, this is something that we all maybe either A, originally knew, or B, originally thought was a good idea, but Disney decided to be little bitches and go with the girl power. Now, I said in some of my reviews, can't remember which one, but, you know, if you want to do a story with Leia, you shouldn't have used Obi-Wan Kenobi. You should have used a random Jedi that you could kill off because they're not in the original trilogy or prequel trilogy. Something, you know, I mean, fuck it. We had all kinds of Jedi surviving Order 66, so it wouldn't have been a big deal. But now you have the main star of the show confirming the show should have or would have been originally about what we all knew it should have been about. Now, how dumb is that shit in the end of the day? Let's be perfectly honest. Anybody that watched the Obi-Wan Kenobi show knows good and damn well that having him have space adventures with Leia was one of the dumbest moves Disney could make, and they did the fucking sequel trilogy. You know, it didn't get much worse from there, but this is a real fucking close second. This is not a good series. I don't care what people say. I don't care what magic they feel that Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor came back. I don't care about the fights. Overall, this series was by far bad. Like, it's not good. It is objectively bad. So, let's get into this article, really. But before we get into the article, if you could do us a solid over here at the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, one of the two. We'd really appreciate either or. Thanks a ton, y'all. So, let's begin. At one point, Obi-Wan was being developed at Lucasfilm as a film trilogy. In my personal opinion, I think that would have been a little bit smarter. Following the infamous Jedi protecting a young Luke Skywalker from Tusken Raiders on Tatooine. After Solo bombed with fans and critics alike, the Kathleen Kennedy-led studio shelved future movies in hopes of a better solution. Along came Disney Plus, which gave the outfitted a chance to tell longer stories in the form of television shows. Obi-Wan was quickly announced as one of those shows, initially borrowing from the discarded film heavily. While the series was released on Disney Plus, focused on Obi-Wan and his journey across the cosmos to aid a young Leia, the show nearly focused on Obi and Luke entirely. Quotations. It says, "It was going to be a story about me and Luke. It was going to be that, and that was one of the genius moments where everyone went, wait a minute, and then changed it," McGregor said during his spotlight panel at Fan Expo Boston on Sunday. That's the beautiful thing about passionate Disney, Lucasfilm. All of us are. We are involved with it from the very beginning. We try really hard not to let anything of the bad just to protect your experience of seeing it for the first time, he added. I think it's really cool that Disney and Lucasfilm care so much for the fan experience. They really want you to have 100% experience at the first time you see it, and if you read that and at the leaks that just came out, it's just a bit of a shame, isn't it? It's like looking at your Christmas presents before Christmas Day. Okay, so let's pause there. There's a little bit more I want to get into the article, but let's just pause there and say how stupid and retarded that is. Okay, he literally just said, hey, it was going to be about Luke and me, and then we were like, no, wait a sec, and didn't even explain why, like, at all. Like, the man just said, hey, we decided to change it, and then we were like, yeah, and then we, you know, didn't want to ruin people's Christmas presents, whatever. Like, I find that kind of silly because, I don't know, maybe he's trying to say that, you know, well, we didn't want to do the obvious, you know, maybe that's kind of what he meant with this metaphor about, you know, trying to give 100% experience for the first time and the fans. I don't fucking know. But if you really gave a fuck about the fans, you would have done what the fans wanted. Nobody wants space adventures with Leia. And I'll be real, it's not like that's a bad thing, you know, but it's not what you want when it comes to Luke, of course, but Obi-Wan Kenobi's story. He had a mission. He had a purpose. And y'all changed that for a very shitty show that most people would say is agenda-driven. And even if you don't see the agenda in it, you definitely see the faultiness in it. It had poor writing, poor plot, poor logic. Like, this was a really, really, really bad series. And I mean, hell, there might even be a fine argument. Maybe we'll make a video of it, like, what's worse, a sequel trilogy or this Obi-Wan series. I lean a little bit more to the sequel trilogy because they bastardized Luke and Rey Palpatine, the Mary Sue of it all, but this was more or less a baby bird clone of it, you know, like this was exactly the same in many ways. Leia was a Mary Sue, Obi-Wan got cucked like Luke did, you know, the plot, the logic wasn't good, just really, really wasn't a good show. But let's continue this article right here because I found this kind of fucking retarded, and maybe this is more on the writer here, but the writer of the article says, while the show was initially envisioned as a limited series, Kennedy has since said the studio has talked about doing a second season due to the fan response. And then in quotations here, it says, mainly because everybody came together and had such an incredible time. Ewan had an incredible time. Hayden had an incredible time. Kathleen said earlier this year. So certainly from that point of view, everybody involved would love to see this not end. But we have to really spend our time asking the questions, why would we do it? If we were to decide to do anything more with the Obi-Wan character, we'd have to really answer the question of why. And yes, you are 100% right on that. Why the fuck would you do that? Literally, the first sentence by the writer of this article says due to fan response. And Kathleen Kennedy in these first two sentences just said the actors and everybody that worked on it had a good time. I didn't hear shit about the fans wanting it. I didn't hear shit about the fans having a good time. Granted, this could be just poor writing on the author's part. There is a bit of a typo here in this article, but it is what it is. Point being still is, most fans didn't like that. If they did like it, they're probably 7 years old and don't know that there's better versions of Star Wars out there. So this idea that just because the actors had fun, yeah, they got paid. Of course they're having a good ass fucking time. Ewan McGregor made some bank. Alright, Hayden Christensen probably made some bank. And it's good. I like those two dudes and I'm glad they're getting paid. But if you're going to bastardize the character, no, do not do that. Nobody wants that fucking shit. Get out of here. What we want is what we know of. Now, this isn't like, I don't know, eating your greens to help you make you get big and strong. Like, no, this is shit people spend money on, want to relax and enjoy and have a good time. And yeah, maybe have some deep thinking and fun fan discussions on the internet about. But we don't want to get on the internet and keep saying, hey, this shit sucks. Okay? That's not why you make these fucking shows. You make these fucking shows to, well, in a lot of ways, show off. But, like, you know, to tell cool stories, to enlighten, to enrich, to, you know, brighten up the dreary and drab days that some people have. And they're not doing that with this shit. It's unfortunate that they decided to go in a route or in a direction that not only is antithetical to the character of Obi-Wan, but opposite to fan demand and fan outcry. Like, no fan has an issue with Leia, but if you think forcing Leia down our throats through Obi-Wan and whatever else is going to make fans more interested in Leia, like, you lost the plot. You know, Leia has always been strong and empowered and blah, 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 but let's be real, man. Like, her two shining moments is going to be, one, in her space buns in the first movie because iconic, and two, in the fucking bikini because iconic. Who cares? Like, who cares? It's not like Leia was not the shit. We all know that she was tight. But it's weird that you would want to saddle her up with Obi-Wan knowing damn well they didn't have a relationship like that. And that is okay. I think Disney, no different than passing up on George Lucas's actual proposed sequel trilogy and passing up on the expanded universe, Disney again with this show missed out on good opportunities of, and I'll be real, it's easy storytelling. And sometimes the easiest is sometimes the best. You know, we're not always looking for subverted expectations. Sometimes we just want something comforting. You may think that sounds lazy and whatnot, but it's really not. There's a formula. It's called the hero's journey. And then there's a Japanese Asian one too, and I can't remember the name of it. But side being, there's a formula to storytelling. And Disney and a lot of these studios keeps trying to shit on it and do something better and different for it. And unfortunately, all it does is hurt the studios, hurt the fans, and even some of these actors. You know, some of these actors get some hate or become the face of these shitty ass programs and movies, and it sucks because they don't deserve that. But in the end of the day, the fans are getting the shaft the worst. We end up paying for this crap while these motherfuckers are making upwards to thousands to millions for some bullshit, and then they want to call us racist, sexist, and all kinds of phobic just because we're like, hey, yo, this isn't good. This is objectively bad. So here we are again, Disney letting the cat out the bag saying, yeah, we had a good idea, but we decided to shit on it because agenda? Question mark, question mark? I don't fucking know. Unless, I'll be real, you know, even with Luke in the show, doesn't mean they would have made it good. Doesn't mean that Luke wasn't about to get shit on either. So maybe this was for the better in some ways. But let me know what you think. Do you think they should have did a show about Luke? Do you think that what we got was the best of what we were going to get? Or do you think they should have maybe never even did an Obi-Wan show in the first place? Either way, fuck Disney. Y'all know what it is. But thanks for listening, y'all. I hope y'all do like and subscribe. We'll try to put out some more videos here shortly. But either way, Vulgar One, Vulgar Son, Vulgar Desperado, representing the Jabber Jaws. Y'all have a good one. Peace.